Hello YouTube, it's Saturday, October 7th, 2023, 10:07 p.m. Oh yes, I'm getting such a late start today. Now I was up in the morning, and it was a very interesting morning, and at some point I intend to talk a little bit more about that. It's going to be a really short video because I'm just headed over to wander in. I'm not sure what time I went back to bed after this morning's activities, which involved a certain ex-girlfriend that I swore I was done spending any time with. But yeah, she left this morning, I want to say probably about 9 a.m., maybe 10 a.m. And I didn't get much sleep last night, largely because of her, which is actually mostly a good thing for a change. And yeah, adult fun did happen. I'll throw that out there. Although the one thing I really wanted to do, which was to put tab D into slot P, that didn't happen, as she absolutely insisted that she was not willing to do that unless I put tab D into bag C, and tab D just does not comfortably fit into any bag C I've ever found. In fact, it's kind of a painful experience for me, and that wasn't in the slightest bit appealing. That said, she did do something else that I've been asking for a long time, that she has been largely neglecting to do for years, and did it better than she ever has done in the roughly 13 years we've been seeing each other. That's something. The last video, I was coming home from the zone and kind of tired, because I really hadn't got much sleep the day before. Oh, by the way, as for today and not doing much, I did wake up in kind of the early afternoon, but I had a really intense headache. So I just took painkillers and laid in the fetal position and tried to endure the pain until I was able to get back to sleep. Every time that happens, it makes for a pretty dysfunctional day. Although I did get up and add another chapter of my blog. At this point, I'm very slowly getting everything that happened on August 8th posted, and it's looking like I won't have August 8th completely posted until maybe tomorrow sometime. So yes, I've finally hit that mark where I'm an exact 2 full months behind posting my blog. I'm trying to keep working at it, I really am, but it's not like I can absolutely put every other aspect of my life on hold, and I'm really not one to turn down any adult playtime when that presents itself, since it presents itself so rarely these days. That said, I did have sort of a interesting moment with a stranger earlier in the evening yesterday. Somebody I met on the internet. And I'm not quite sure what to make out of that. It did at least boost my ego and my mental health and just general feeling well-being enough that I felt up to coming to wandering last night. Because had that not happened, I probably would have just spent all of last night in bed at home alone, because I wasn't really feeling too good. I was pretty tired from as little sleep as I had between staying up into the early morning to pay my rent, and then waking up inexplicably earlier than 11 a.m. and deciding, oh shit, there's an opportunity to do some paid work through WorkWhile, I mean, and damn, I better take it. Anyway, on that note, I'm here at the bar. I might go into more detail on all this stuff later, but that kind of sums up what's happened between the end of my last video and now. And I'm back, YouTube. How's it going? It's 2:55 a.m. right now. Late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, depending on your perspective. Technically, early Sunday morning. October 8th, 2023. That doesn't even seem right. This month is just flying right by. Somebody came to the bar driving a Polestar 2, and of course I noticed it immediately. I got kind of excited about it and kind of drug Priscilla out with me. It's like, oh my God, you need to come see this. So I've been telling her about those cars that I drive at work, and she's never seen one. Like, she's looked at them online, but to look at one online and actually see one in the flesh are two completely different things. And I'm kind of looking for the car. There it is. I think that's it. No, maybe not. No. Well, it'd be weird if I went around the block another time. I just realized I went down the wrong street. That'll make a difference. No, he was staying at a place over here that it's an Airbnb. The guy was from Minnesota. Yeah, there it is. There it is, right in front of me. Boom. Polestar 2 in gray. I told Priscilla when I saw it there, I said, I'd be almost willing to bet money. That's one of my cars from work. That's the ones that I'm driving all day long. Not all day long, but you know what I mean? Like, I drive them regularly throughout the day. And when I was servicing the electric vehicles, I was driving them a lot. I mean, I still drive them quite a bit, but not like I was. Yeah, at first the guy was saying it was his, and then we were talking about it and different stuff, and then later he said, oh no, it's a rental, it's from Dollar. Which, you know, Dollar being a subsidiary of Hertz, that at least from my perspective where I work, it's the same thing. That car could be rented out by Hertz, that car could be rented out by Dollar. He bounced the cars back and forth. Obviously not all the cars. I mean, you know, those Hertz Special Edition Shelby Mustangs, those stay over at Hertz Ultimate and never make it to the Dollar side. But interestingly enough, the Polestar 2 does end up at Dollar quite often, just because we have so many of them. I'm reasonably sure they're at least from Polestar. And I say this because I've never moved any to retail. Whereas when Hertz owns a car, when they decide that they're not going to rent it anymore, it goes to retail. But yeah, I do believe all the Polestars are on lease, which is probably why we have such an obscenely large amount. And because we have such a surplus of those, regardless of the fact that they are very valuable cars, we'll put them over at Dollar. For the most part, we usually only have about 2 or 3 that sit over in what's called the upgrade aisle for Dollar, which are basically cars that are higher end than what Dollar generally leases. But hey, pay a little extra and drive something that normally is only for gold tier Hertz members. But sometimes when we get really low on cars, which has been happening a lot lately, they'll take those electric cars because people aren't renting them as much, because a lot of people just don't know what to do, how to deal with it, where to get it charged, how to get it charged. I mean, even driving is a little bit different. The Polestar has a lot lower learning curve than other electric vehicles. So sometimes it happens where we've just got the surplus of electric cars because people don't want the electric cars. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are people that specifically want the electric cars. There are people that come there specifically because we have electric cars. And those people usually know what's up. I mean, I've had a couple people tell me that, oh yeah, I stay at a hotel where it's free overnight charging while I'm there. So it's just kind of a no-brainer to get an electric car for me. And then I did meet one guy I talked to drives a Mach-E at home. So, of course, he's gravitating towards electric when he can. And ironically, I don't think that guy got an electric car. Like, I met him in the electric car section, but he ended up getting something else. And it was largely because as I recall, he was driving to Yuma. He didn't want to have to do that whole drive with brakes for charging, and I can't say I blame him. But anyway, good time, and Priscilla got to sit inside sit inside it and not drive it, but at least, you know, touch and see the controls and realize just what a tactile vehicle it is in terms of you know, how the controls are for where you are as a driver. And she knows how much that's a thing for me. I mean, half the reason I drive this car, as unimpressive as this car is from a tactile standpoint. Everything's really good in this car. Like, all the controls are where I like them to be. I do wish the speedometer was in a different location, but that aside, as far as all the controls, the shifter, the windows, just everything on this car is just like I can reach it, I can touch everything, and I can just tell from how it feels on my fingers what knob is what. And that's something that's really fading away in so many cars because it just seems like everything's going to a touchscreen. Anyway, I'm home. I wasn't going to talk all about the guy with the Polestar, but hey, somebody showed up with a Polestar. And of course, it's one that I've probably driven already. So, it's pretty kind of exciting for me. As far as what I wanted to say more about what led to Priscilla coming over last night. And, yeah, I don't have time. I'm at home. I'm going inside. But let's just say tonight was more of the same. And I will explain more about it at a later date. But I think she's coming over later, maybe. And I'm to the point where if she comes, cool. And if she doesn't, cool. Whatever. If she comes, hopefully I'll be awake enough to let her in. But I feel like she's here. But later, she's with some people that she met behind the bar, and they're all chilling there still and playing dominoes. So I know she enjoys that. I'm not so into it and kind of want to chill at home for a bit. But anyway, thanks for coming with on the drive, and thanks for watching. And of course, there will be more later.